What's up, guys? Just wanted to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Aptos. We'll hear more about how Bitcoin, DeFi, and Aptos is heating up later today. But for now, let's get into the episode. Nothing said on 0x Research is a recommendation to buy or sell securities or tokens. This podcast is for informational purposes only, and any views expressed by anyone on the show are solely our opinions, not financial advice. Boccaccio, Ryan, and our guests may hold positions in the companies, funds, or projects discussed. What's up, guys? Welcome back to 0x Research. I am joined by Westy Capital from Blockworks Research and Teddy Oosterban from Kairos Research. Did I say that correctly?
Oosterban.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Close enough.
How are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good.
Doing good?
Yeah. Das has been great. Having a good time.
Very good.
I'm doing well. London's been awesome, too. It's my first time here. Oh, can't believe you guys had me on the podcast in person.
Very excited.
Honored.
One fun fact is that Teddy hasn't been able to fit into any form of public transportation. Yes?
Only the tube. Everything else has been fine. There's only like one the Jubilee line, I think, is not built for me.
No?
Everything else has been pretty nice.
Okay, very good. Did you do any speeches, any talks?
No, I'm talk free.
No? Very
Freak.
lucky. No, I'm not that I don't love doing the talks, but
No, I'd love to do one. Yeah.
Teddy, how's it been for you?
I'd say it's been great. I mean, again, this is my first thing that anyone's asked me to do, but
Hopefully not the last. We'll see.
Blockworks has never paid me, but this has been the best conference I've been to. So that's a sincere statement. I feel like
slipping the 20 now.
Yeah, very good.
Every panel I've been to has been interesting and like captivating. So
Yeah, that's what we go for. Huge shout out to Bennett, who does all of these things, as well as
Facts.
everybody else, but Bennett mostly. We had a very stressful weekend. Were you flying while everything happened?
No, I flew in on Sunday.
Okay.
I was AFK though on Friday.
What were you doing?
I was just logging off.
Oh, very.
Just enjoying life, away from crypto, and I didn't have any levered positions open. Simplified book, and all of a sudden I got messages on Saturday. I'm like, no way those prices are real, but yeah.
Teddy, any pain?
a little bit of pain, but it will be okay. It seems to happen every time I go to a conference too. It's been like once a year for the past 4 years. Like I'm supposed to get on a flight and I get liquidated. So get liquidated once a year, and it's always right before flying. So then I get a few hours with no Wi-Fi just to think about my actions.
Just focus up.
Yeah.
No, Friday was pretty insane. I mean, like you were flying. We have a guy, Luke, on the research team, and he was out hunting, like all week.
What was he hunting?
Bull elk is
Okay.
what he said. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
American thing. And I think he came back on Monday, and he was like, "Well, like, did Adam go to 0.01?" And we're like, "Yeah, it did, buddy. Like, best of luck going forward." Like, it's crazy. Everything dumped.
It's insane.
How
How are you doing?
I'm good. I can't do perps. I have a very addictive personality, so I try to stay away from whatever I can get addicted to.
So you're more of like you're a hype holder, but not
Yeah,
a
yeah.
user. Not
No, I use it to buy more hype on spot,
Yeah.
less so on perps. I generally can't do perps. Like actually, other people can generate the fees for Hyperliquid. I just want to benefit off of the fees by my
fair enough.
They made $20 million. That's a significant amount of money for one day. I mean, if you annualize that, we should. Should we annualize it?
I mean, but how much of that came from traders?
Yeah.
And
How do you think
Especially
that?
HLP Vault
Uh,
milking traders.
well, it's
What do
not
you
really
think about
milking, is it? Like
that?
if other traders can't take on the position, it goes to the HLP. I'm doing auto deleveraging talk on camera. That's not a good thing, but we're gonna take a risk.
yeah.
So, if the order book doesn't work out, it goes to HLP. If HLP can't cover everything, then auto deleveraging. That's fair, no?
I
Seems
think-
pretty fair.
Yeah, I think it's fair and it's the state of the market, but I don't think it's a good thing for Hyperliquid.
No, definitely
Like-
not a good fit.
Like even the amount of money they made that day, it's like, okay, how much have they not made since that event because that happened? Like
yeah.
it just feels weird that prices go down to a point where they're not going to stay for more than 5 minutes, so they probably shouldn't go down there in like a healthy market. I say as I'm coping from but yeah, it just seems like it's not a great event in order to keep perps trading sustainable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just regurgitating what I saw on
Yeah.
X after the fact. People comparing, HLP to lighter,
Yeah.
and yeah, there's been, I guess, some talk on the sort of trade-off between traders winning and losing ADL and the benefit of this like backstop liquidity providing.
Yeah, I mean, you never want the protocol to accrue bad debt, right?
Yeah.
Like that to me is very basic. So if the HLP is designed such that the protocol can never accrue bad debt, to me that doesn't seem like a bad thing. Like no one would be like, oh no, Aave.
It's a trade-off.
Yeah.
It's like, but if you're
But it
prioritizing the
hurts.
protocol, you might hurt the traders or get less traders because they don't feel as comfortable.
Yeah, that makes sense. It definitely hurts because Teddy was like, oh, I got liquidated. And I was like, oh, wow, Hyperliquid made $20 million. This is fantastic. And it's
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's much better than things would have been 3 years ago or 4 years ago. So it's definitely trending the right direction. And nothing broke.
I like that we say this every time something bad happens. We're like, oh, like 3 years ago, everything would have gone to zero. Now we're doing okay. DeFi, it just works,
Yeah. I think there's some truth behind that. I don't think
definitely
that means we should quit, not do anything from now on. But I think that there are massive improvements, and like I'd still like to use. I mean, Hyperliquid fared better than Binance did, and that speaks to like there's a lot.
I mean, they shut down Binance, which is insane. Like it's the largest exchange in the world, and you couldn't get orders for it. Apparently, I just talked to Adam from Rockaway X, and he mentioned that they were like, surely a lot of people got liquidated just because they had like naked longs left because a lot of them hedged through Binance and Binance API just was down completely. That's a ridiculous thing to have as Binance. Like, can you imagine?
It definitely felt like your like CFI front ends didn't hold up very well. Like a lot of the stuff that people use that like are run by centralized companies, but DeFi held up just fine as a whole. That's what it feels like to me, at least.
Okay, let's move away from the very depressing topics and say, what are you guys looking forward to over the next 6 months?
Monad cards being worth 100K. No,
I think they got announced. It's worth minimum 100K.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
you can retire if you got a Monad card.
I don't know. Nothing really comes to mind. Yeah, I guess Monad and MegaETH finally going live. Hopefully, seeing mainnet and seeing the rubber hit the road because. Yeah, I mean, it's been a bunch of hype for a long time, so I want to see innovation and cool stuff happening. So that's like the first thing that comes to mind.
Are you going to be a big Monad guy?
I mean, depends how much like give the Monad cards, I guess. I don't know, and how much there is to do. I'm also, I'm a MegaETH fan as well.
Very good. Just whoever gives them more money.
I mean, just whoever's got more motion, more cool stuff happening.
How do you think about those two? Because like, I know you are against this spot specifically, but like the L1 premium versus L2 premium. Do you think like inherently Monad is going to command a higher valuation because it's just a layer 1 while MegaETH benefits off being an L2?
I think in the short term it might be priced higher, but I think in the long term you should not have like an L1 premium should not exist, and it's been compressing over time because it's all just chains and bridges, and your chain should be optimizing for REV, or if you have like an enshrined application revenue, and everything else like your tech stack or if you're posting data somewhere is irrelevant.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Is staking actually, would you say it is like a black hole for tokens? Like just having staking, which is obviously not necessarily like a good thing for your token
like,
in the long
is
enough
it a
term.
token sink?
Yeah, like does that get rid of a lot of the supply at the launch of these things that can kind of command the premium?
Well, I think with liquid staking, it's like been dramatically reduced to like what it could have been. Like if you could, what did the Cosmos do where they would like you can unlock it and then you have to wait 3 weeks to get your token back, right?
It's a 21-day unlock.
Yeah, the 21-day unlock. Yeah, like that. That's a token sink, right? Like that actually is.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Like Sol is is it 2 epochs? I think it's like 3 days. That's native.
Roughly 3
Obviously,
days.
everybody uses Jito.
Yeah.
And then Jito will have its own Sol reserves to like, I imagine, fulfill immediate demand of like unstaking. So I guess not. Does this answer?
No, I think it does. I mean, I'm always curious of just like giving people something to do with the token, like throwing it out an arbitrary number and being like 7% APR if you stake it. I think that that gets enough people to be like, maybe I'll do that rather than sell it. I mean, if you add a third option into buying and selling, and it's people already have tokens, then maybe staking rather than selling kind of happens here and there.
Do you think people over-index on the token sync stuff? Because now people would talk about pump fund launches and like, oh, they're getting SOL, but SOL is also being locked in the LPs. But when you actually look at the numbers, it's like not that much SOL actually ends up in LPs over time. So I think people just over-index on supply syncs in general. It's more so like, are people bullish on this asset? Will they hold it? Like the syncs themselves largely are irrelevant.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I saw a few of these tweets today, and it's like Pump is still making $1 million a year. I mean, its revenue is declining.
$1 million a year?
$1 million a day, sorry.
Yeah.
Revenue is declining, but I mean, $1 million a day at, what is it, 3.5 bill market cap, FTV, whatever it is. FTV, like that's quite cheap. But I mean, the argument here is like, do people want to buy it apart from it buying back its own token? And it seems to be no. Like, do you think that also, like, okay, it's staking, you can give utility, but even if you have your like buyback, some form of value accrual, unless you can command enough attention such that people are like, okay, I actually want to buy this token, it doesn't really matter. Like we saw it with Rollbit as well. There was probably some crime there as well, but you know, it's like if people don't want the token, you can buy it back as much as you want. They're just not going to buy it back. Like they're just not going to buy your token.
Yeah, I get that's true, but at what point do people run out of tokens to sell? I mean, if they're able to buy this much back every single day for the next 2 years, like at some point it's gonna hit a wall where it will have enough price impact. Like they can't just mint infinite tokens to sell. So my opinion is like on a long enough time horizon, if you think that Pump will continue this amount of activity, you should probably own it. Like,
yeah.
Out of everything in crypto, then it's attractive. But again, like I think there's worries that if they start making more money, they can cut buybacks back to 25% of revenue. Like I think that there's a lot of unanswered questions, and like they've done a good job to show that they are willing to support the token, but that people don't know that their $2 billion in cash might be. Do token holders get any part of that, or is it going to be used to build out the protocol? Like, I mean, I don't think there's been anything officially or legally said that.
Yeah,
I think people know that.
I also wonder how much of it being cheap is relevant to how ephemeral the revenue might be, just in the nature of you need new token launches constantly. We saw what happened with Bonk. It took a good amount of market share at one point of new launches. So I think there's maybe some concern on the sustainability of the Pump sort of revenue model as a whole.
Are you concerned? Are you a Pump holder?
I mean, I was concerned. Before, Bonk.fun and Radium's Launchpad, I figured, yeah, I mean, just the nature of Pump Fun is you need constant new token launches. And so as a result, I figured it's pretty ripe for market share to be stolen. And I still think that's probably the case. And I think we'll see some back and forth. Maybe a new Launchpad comes out. Maybe a new chain becomes the place people trade. I don't know. It's a hard thing to like look 5 years into the future and think, oh, this is the thing going to continue to be the thing that people trade.
Yeah, can you imagine looking back 5 years ago and thinking, oh, this has to keep going?
Exactly.
Bitcoin DeFi is heating up on Aptos. With nearly 400 million BTC assets on chain, Aptos users can now earn yield on their Bitcoin via Eco aBTC and OKX xBTC without the typical bridge risks and high fees. To explore BTC yield opportunities on Aptos, follow the link in today's show notes.
As always, investments in blockchain technology involve risk. Terms and conditions apply. Do your own research.
Teddy, what are you excited about over the next 6 to 12 months?
I think based on your earlier conversation with Paul, I am excited about Plasma 1, and we're investors in Plasma, so I should say that. But I'm also on the wait list for Plasma 1.
Right.
Me too.
And I think all these cards are generally interesting to me. I just know kind of how the offboarding process goes, and it's kind of painful. And I think that there's a lot of people that would like to make that simpler. Like you try to withdraw through Coinbase and they try to auto stick you with the instant withdrawals with like a 3% fee on your money. Like every time I have to like go back and like exit out of that. It's like, no, I'm not paying 3% to get 1 day shorter into my bank account. So I think that there's a lot of things that are interesting happening over there. I think that the DeFi ecosystem has been impressively built out so far. You can probably
Shout out River.
attribute a lot of that to the incentives program, but I also think that they had a lot of things to do, and like USD AI, like whatever you want to say about it, I think that there's questions to be asked there, but like they're building a kind of interesting novel product that there's like demand for.
GPU powered stablecoins.
Yes, and I think of it more as like a vault too, rather than a stable, like similar to Athena. It's like
strategy backed. You don't want to hold your life savings in it, but it's worth getting the extra yield if you have to. You can mix and match a little bit. Would you agree?
Somewhat agree. I mean, you should be compensated for the amount of risk you're taking on with this kind of thing. And I'm not sure. Like, the reason why I'm not participating is I don't think it's sort of worth it. Although maybe in the short term it's worth farming, but that's just the way I see it. Yeah.
Sorry, finish up.
I was gonna say I have no idea how well the collateral holds up. Like if you use GPUs for 6 months, are they worth 80% of what they were when you bought them? Are they worth 30%? Like, does it depend on who's using them and how they're taken care of? Like, I just don't know that. So like, I think that's the right question. But I know that like you see Sam Altman going on podcasts saying GPU financing is like a completely underserved market and it needs to be done. And I think crypto is a great spot to kind of just serve as a base for allocating capital and pooling capital. So it's cool to see it in the credit markets as well as just random tokens and meme coin launches as well.
I think that makes sense. To be fair, they are like 98% backed by stables, but then they announced their first loan last week, and I have a few friends who are like, "Oh no, like I thought this was gonna be fully stablecoin backed. I didn't actually think they were gonna get any GPU loans yet."
Yeah, they're farming the token, the USD AI token, but like at the same point, the token could be worth something if this loan like is interesting. It's $500 million. Like I don't know who the borrower is. I should probably look into that. I don't have any money there. But I think that's interesting. I think like if Plasma can become a place where you have like a bunch of different options on the credit side and like tokenized asset side as well, it's like, okay, it's coming together. It's like not only a payments chain, but like a place you want to hold stable coins or like real value in crypto. So I think that's just like an interesting concept that we haven't quite tapped into yet.
No, I definitely agree. And I think USDI is pretty cool because like you said, like we need some new interesting things coming on chain as opposed to like what we've been seeing. Wes, you're not really a big yield farmer, I've realized. And you also don't lend or borrow a lot. You kind of just buy and sell.
Yeah.
It's
kind of.
Have you been burnt before?
No, I just don't think you're being adequately compensated for the risk you're taking on. In most cases in DeFi, people, I think, get too comfortable placing their money somewhere on chain and like, just like don't appreciate smart contract risk and whatnot. So I'd rather not like pick up pennies in front of the steamroller getting 13% yield. I'd rather, trade assets that I feel like I have, good alpha on or a good judgment on. Yeah.
Are you rather just sell calls?
I mean, not that. I mean, I'm not maybe covered calls, but yeah, no, I'd rather not like chase yield. I'd rather trade.
I think that's true.
Yeah, I very rarely. I don't even stake anything, to be fair. I'm not a big staking guy as well. I get nervous. I get very, very nervous. Another thing is that I like immediate liquidity. I feel like I can make a lot more money if I'm just like if I have cash to put in at the right time, as opposed to like if I'm just infinite farming Aave like 4%.
Yeah, I mean, I think these assets are volatile enough where 5% on your money a year in like dilutive tokens is not enough for you to be like, I want to be locked for a month. Now, I think at some point in time, maybe that's true when it's not just dilutive yield and the assets become less volatile. But
one thing I feel like we don't talk about enough is that Sol, talking about dilution, is like Sol has hit its 2021 market cap way like months and months ago, and now it's like double it. If you are thinking about like how you want to allocate to these things, are you actively considering market caps and in the way that you trade, in the way that you buy and sell, or are you still mostly thinking of like direct comps? Because this is something I was thinking about. Like when you think of ETH, it's actually not hit all-time highs. No, it has, but not to the point that Solana has. Is what I'm saying making any sense? I know I'm asking very horribly, but
I think it makes sense. I think it depends on your time horizon completely. because yeah, I'll have trades that are day long or week long. But if I'm holding something for a very long period of time, I'd certainly take into account changes in issuance and supply, and I'd mostly go off of FTB versus market cap. I think it entirely depends on the time horizon of your trade or investment.
I think with something like Sol, it's different than like Lido as well. If you look at the Lido like FDV chart, and it's like you watch Lido just get billions and billions and billions in deposits, and like the price never.
No, it's always $1.
Yeah, the market cap chart looks great. You look at the price, it's been the same. So I think that one's a different one where it's like token holders aren't getting any of that inflation, so it is all dilution. I think that with Sol, like again, maybe we don't want to stake, but you can stake, and I think with the staking ETFs that will hopefully be approved, like then it shouldn't matter as much. But I think it's definitely tough for like an investor to want to own something that they're going to be diluted in, and they don't want to necessarily have to stake. So like I think it's something that chains need to think about, and it's like, do we need to be paying this much, and the validator commissions need to be this high?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Like where the issuance is coming from is super important, because if it's a proof of stake chain, you as a token holder have the right to the new issuance, versus if the issuance is being used for farming incentives or the issuance is just unlock tokens, completely different. And that certainly changes, like the investment perspective of the thing.
To end things off, I already asked my typical ending things off question, like the 6 to 12 month thing, so I have another one. If you could only bet on one chain going forward, and Teddy, I'm going to ban you from saying Plasma because you're an investor and you already said it. Which chain would you bet on?
What's the time horizon?
12 months to 24 months.
And I'm betting on the native token.
You're betting on a native token.
It's a good question. Probably Solana.
Maybe Hyperliquid.
Yeah.
I'd say Solana and Hyperliquid are.
You have to pick one.
Out of all my live chains. I don't know. I'd say it's definitely like the way that Solana feels like they're making improvements and kind of targeting the right things compared to ETH. It's not like a big gap between Hyperliquid and Solana, but it does feel like Hyperliquid has a lot of momentum right now. So I wouldn't bet against them.
Very good.
But
very good. I would also.
Is that the right answer?
I think that's the right answer. Wesley, we're going to be having a chat later on. Guys, I really appreciate you coming on. This was really fun. I
agree. Thanks for having us.
I appreciate it.
With nearly 400 million BTC on-chain, supported by a secure, fast, and affordable Move VM environment, Aptos has become the BTCFi growth chain. Aptos users can now earn yield on their Bitcoin via Eco's aBTC and OKX's xBTC without the typical bridge risks and high fees. With support from Echo, OKX, and Stacks' SBTC, Aptos is the place to go for best-in-class yield on Bitcoin. To explore BTC yield opportunities on Aptos, follow the link in today's show notes.
As always, investments in blockchain technology involve risk. Terms and conditions apply. Do your own research.
What's up, guys? I am here together with two millennials trying to figure out how to retweet a live stream. How you guys doing?
We're great, Bach. How are you?
I'm very good as well. How's that been for both of you?
It's been great. DAS is honestly my favorite Blockworks conference.
Not permissionless?
Nothing is permissionless. I just like DAS a little more.
Ticket prices are higher for DAS.
Yeah, it's good for the. It's good for the.
I love that.
No, I think the quality content's good. I think that the natural evolution of crypto is that's going to mature as an asset class, and like this is the future of crypto, whether or not crypto natives like to hear it or not. And I think that this is probably the highest signal conference to noise ratio out of everything else out there in the industry. And yeah,
anything you want to add?
Say that again.
Anything you want to add?
No, I think that's about right. I think that, having now been to a few DASs, it's very much like teaching moment for our team. Whereas like in permissionless, like we're learning, but I would say that this is like the most educated crowd that we've had, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I feel like we actually have the opportunity. It's educational for us because we're absorbing TradFi best practices and lessons learned and language. And I think we have the opportunity to educate them as well.
Yeah.
So I like to see Blockworks as like a bridging a brand that's like bridging TradFi and crypto, and I think like we're able to put our best stuff out there in moments like this.
Although I will say, I feel like at DAS New York, I felt a lot more like I was teaching people versus now I feel like everybody already knows, like everyone's caught up, and that like I guess that learning curve that I would have expected to be much longer was not as long as I would have hoped for it to be.
Well, if you bring up Hyperliquid on every podcast, eventually everyone will hear
Everyone
it.
will figure it out eventually. That's good.
You even figured out a way to mention Hyperliquid on the Athena podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
Well, no, but to be fair, HIP free and Hyperliquid and Athena is very relevant.
it's gonna be a movie.
It's gonna be a movie. A lot of volatility on Friday. Tough weekend. Do either of you care? Were either of you liquidated? What are your thoughts?
I remain bullish. I think that it's a great time to own risk assets. I think that any volatility along the way should be welcomed. We don't get enough of it, and it makes entries really hard. I think Friday was useful in that one, it exposed a lot of the problems that we still have and still need to fix. And for investors, it was a short but much needed entry into a lot of things. And frankly, a lot of tokens that stayed where they are, they kind of deserve it.
Yeah.
So it's just like a nice,
Harsh, but yes.
a nice repricing for some assets, and then a nice entry for things that were thrown out with the baby out with bathwater.
Yeah, I think a couple things. No, one, I was not levered long or short.
Because you like leverage. Like I asked, I knew who wasn't levered on, but I imagined you might have been.
Yeah, Boccaccio's, I guess, shedding light on my gambling problem live on Livestream. But that was David of old, not anymore. It's a spot only meta from here on out. I think you're going to see a flight to quality, hopefully, because I do think that there's a lot of like undervalued assets, especially after the move that happened on Friday. The one thing I'm thinking about the most is how does Binance's market share change from here? Other exchanges did have some issues, but Binance clearly was like the driver of the dislocation of the market, and is because of like their own issues with a pricing oracle for some assets, and ultimately exchanges, just like banks, it's like a trust and brand thing, and a lot of people lost a lot of money on Friday, and maybe this is good for Hyperliquid. Maybe this is good for OK. You even saw like OKX and some of the other like major centralized exchange founders like kind of going after the 900-pound gorilla in the room, which that is Binance. So I'm really curious to see like how I guess market share changes from here, because obviously like the market structure we have now, where most price discovery is happening on Binance, and they own, I don't know how much market share, something crazy, probably 70-80% of all market share. I have to imagine, is obviously not good for the industry.
That's fair. I think a few people I talked to today said similar things. Like one was that actually like you said, Binance was the one that had issues, and I mean on-chain was working well, DeFi held up well, lending held up surprisingly well if you think about it.
Yeah, when you hard code things to one, it's simple, right?
Okay. Don't guess you should have gone smart 20 minutes ago. Not now, buddy. I would have liked some of that fire over there.
Hey, we're all friends here.
Very good. Very good.
I'm just kidding.
No, it held up quite well. Like everything held up quite well. I'm not gonna do the hard-coded thing again, but what he's saying is correct in that we won't do this now.
No, hold on. Like, we should, because I do think like I'm not saying what Ave did was right or wrong, but what I think in the moment
we're gonna lose Ryan.
No, in the moment, really quick.
Stock.
In the moment, it was the right thing, but I think a proof of reserves, a TWAP-based like delayed oracle, the industry is learning how to do proper risk management, proper oracle procedures, and like this is just another learning lesson. Yes, it was a very expensive learning lesson, but a learning lesson nonetheless. If anything, this is going to make crypto more anti-fragile moving forward.
I agree with that.
Sorry, Ryan.
I'm here.
Very, very good. And one thing is like that I always kind of tune out is all the DApp talk. Like I'm not a big digital asset treasury guy, but it seems to be like very, very popular. Almost like yesterday, I imagine Felix talked about it for like half of the time of his life. Are you guys still very, very excited about digital asset treasury companies?
I think that there's a lot to talk about. I kind of ignored it. I mean, I definitely ignored it when it first started. It did seem silly, like you're just wrapping assets the other way. But I do think that it raises really interesting questions about, power in these systems. especially now that these DATs own a lot of tokens and have a lot of influence, and are incentivized differently than the institutions that were stewarding these ecosystems before.
He really wants me to ask about it. What do you think?
No, that's what's interesting about them. Like the premiums were interesting because they were ridiculous, and now they're less ridiculous. And so, what are the interesting things to consider on a forward-looking basis? It's leadership of ecosystems.
Do you think Tom Lee will actually start demanding that certain things go different ways for Ethereum?
There's a non-zero chance.
I don't think it's just like a Ethereum and their
No.
It's
It's also for like
it's all right.
Sol,
Yeah, it's a
It's a
Avalanche.
non-zero chance. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But is that like 30 or is that like 5? Like how involved can you get? That's
the average of 30 and 5. Yeah.
very good. Okay.
So it's something. Yeah, it's a non-zero chance. Look, I mean, you have. You already saw it in the Solana ecosystem where we used to want to kill the inflation rate, and now we're like okay with the inflation rate because it adds income for DATs, and if a DAT has income, it's eligible to be included in an index. Whereas if it didn't have net income, it would not be eligible to be included in an index, and getting the DAT in an index would further the further things for the DAT and potentially for the ecosystem. So you're already seeing it. I mean, Tom Lee showed up and ETH went from 1,800 to 4,700. Like the influence is already there. You have to have your eyes closed to think
No,
otherwise.
for sure.
I don't want to say I didn't understand DATs. Similar to like when they first came out, I was probably on the 0x Research podcast, and I thought that I would never touch an asset that had a DAT behind it because I was worried about the key mana risks tied to them. I was worried about potential like hidden leverage risks tied to them. But ultimately, what it is, it's just an actively managed fund that has a base denominator instead of USD. It's based in the native asset of that ecosystem. They're trying to get as much native asset per share. Fund is trying to get as much USD per under its AUM and try to generate alpha or generate returns for their LPs. So it's the exact same thing. I don't really know what's going to happen moving forward. I think it's pretty clear though that DATs are going to be moving on chain, which I'm really excited about. I think it's going to be really interesting how DATs that are these crypto equity companies, but they're going to have a material portion of their business live on chain. You're obviously seeing a lot of the Coinbases of the world, the Robinhoods of the world, a lot of other TradFi firms starting to move on chain. It's going to be really interesting, like in quarterly shareholder letters, what have you, like how they represent their on-chain business in a way that TradFi can understand and digest. Because right now it's a foreign language to them. But I'm really interested to see like how that verbiage and like how they structure, I guess, like their business forward looking.
I think that makes sense. I similarly, my main thing was, I guess I didn't understand why it makes a lot of sense because a lot of these assets now have ETFs, right? So like if you are an institution, you can buy or get exposure for the ETF, or like I honestly don't think it's that difficult for some of them to just buy stuff through like Fireblocks, Copper, what are the other ones, BitGo, etc. Like these providers.
Who buy? You're talking about
For
the DATs?
institutions to buy, yeah. No, for them not to buy, like, why would you have to buy a DAT as opposed? I mean, we're talking about this like 3.5 months way too late though. Like, so
right.
I would like to, yeah. It would be cool if something else was happening.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's a few
such
things
is life.
happening, but you don't like them.
Let's example.
Yeah, what's
HIV
happening?
free yesterday.
Next.
Snooze, Bill. What else happened?
Going that we've known about that for some time
but it
as
just
well.
went live. They
Gotcha.
launched Equity Perps. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. I was talking to a guy said Equity Perps is the biggest unlock over the next 6 to 12 months. I mean, they're probably also going to do Equity Perps on there, and so he's like,
Equity Perps is a new product. Yeah, we saw the explosion in popularity of zero-day options on Robinhood because that was a new product for retail, and Perps have been wildly popular, and now that you could do it on NVIDIA, that's a new product. It's it is definitely very exciting.
Do you think we're seeing a prediction market top with like the recent Kalshi and Poly market raises?
I really don't think so. I think we're going to get, first of all, I think you can't just have two of them dominate. I think what we'll probably see is like a lot more competitors come in, maybe smaller competitors.
That'll actually eat into material market share.
Well,
Because historically speaking, like there's always a Coke and a Pepsi, but there's usually never like there's a huge drop off between the third, like the Dr. Peppers, right? Like,
see, the thing with crypto is that in crypto everybody wants to be early.
Or Hershey's and Reese's and Twix.
yeah. I mean, Kit Kats are my Coca-Cola, but Twix are a little under the Pepsi brand.
No, but like in crypto, everybody wants to be early, right? Like nobody really needed at AVAX or Luna, but they came in. Like it could have just been Ethereum and Solana, but it doesn't work that way. So people want to be early, and Founders Fund was already early to Polymarket like 6 rounds ago. You know, like people want to get exposure to these new primitives. So I imagine some will at least make a valiant effort, and let's not like pretend like Kalshi is or Polymarket is like at their final form. There's gonna be, I think there's gonna V2 is always better than V1, right? Like there's gonna be incumbents coming in that Kalshi and Polymarket probably still features from, but like those are still gonna capture maybe not 40%, maybe not 60%, but they'll capture 10%. I wouldn't like perps. Do you have?
So you're saying Hyperliquid's gonna lose significant market share soon?
I think there's a chance that they could lose significant market.
Sure. Yeah.
Like I
never thought I heard you have an objective opinion about Hyperliquid.
No, I always talk about. I was talking about this with Carolina today, on the pod, and I mentioned my bear case for Hyperliquid is it goes the Ethereum way. Like the team get lazy and they say we already have such a massive lead, and then some underdog like Lighter, or like in Ethereum's case with Solana just comes in and like just does everything at the same level, but just like much more focused, because they have something to lose, which is not winning.
To your point, going back to the prediction market thing, I think it's interesting. Kalshi partnered with Robinhood to like launch prediction markets on Robinhood's UI. And I'm pretty sure like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, there was a rumor going around that Robinhood's not thinking of launching their own prediction market. And I don't think it's part of Kalshi. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I saw that. So like there's credibility behind the fact that like, yeah, these two leaders right now are market leaders today. It doesn't necessarily mean the market leaders tomorrow. And if Robinhood comes in with the distribution that they have and decides to create their own product offering, and they now have the data to know, like, our users do like prediction markets, so they don't like prediction markets. And how do you tell they like it? So now they can pretty much use Kalshi as a guinea pig and then come in and show like their own prediction market that they own.
Kalshi versus Polymarket with Sportsbook. Kalshi is 70%. Without the Sportsbook, Polymarket is 85% of volume between the two. It's ridiculous how much, first of all, distribution, like Robinhood distribution. Second of all, betting on sports.
Is it all through Robinhood? UI? I have no idea.
I think Kalshi's, I think it must be. Like, it's on college sports, which I don't know anything about, but apparently it's very popular.
Yeah, they have a partnership with Robinhood distribution. Yeah, I mean, I think there's validity both ways. It's pretty early. The volumes are still very low. But I don't know. Polymarket deal with Intercontinental Exchange, and I think it's always a distribution game.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're really they're putting, they're getting distribution in a few different ways now, and it's going to be really hard to compete with that. So it's like, how do you wedge into the market? You offer markets that they don't offer. I don't know who's doing that.
And Polymarket has an edge there, right? Because you can permissionless create pools, or is it the other one? Which one allows you to permissionless create pools?
I have no idea.
Very good.
I've never traded on Polymarket or Kalshi. I am a normie.
But I agree with you on that. Like, listings is, I've always said
listings velocity.
Velocity is all that matters. Like, you want to be the first and you want to have the most interesting markets.
You know who's very well positioned to do a prediction market is X. X is very well positioned.
I would like it if they fixed their application first and then focused on the prediction market.
They're like syncing drafts between devices. They're actually rolling that out soon. But no, they're like, I think that they're really well positioned for prediction market. I think a lot could be going on with X and crypto. I think maybe over the next 12 months you're going to see that. They've been a little slow, like with like literally nothing. But the cool thing is that Elon has for a long time had a financial super app vision. So I wouldn't like count them out. I think prediction markets very naturally fit in that UI, and with those creators, you have like all the intellectual capital is there, and everyone's arguing about what's going to happen next. Like, I should be able to reply to that tweet and go short that opinion. Like I want to do that so bad.
Dude,
I want
love
everyone to
short
see.
Ryan. Can you imagine Ryan's opinion?
It would settle a lot of debates, and then you retweet when you've won it, and then it's a fun.
Well, the issue there is the oracles, right? Like how the hell they solve that? We can get into
oracle. Yeah, you just some guy at X. He's like one guy in a raid, and it's his job of clicking yes and no on who won, and he literally hands you paper money after the bet is settled.
I do think
at the Saratoga racetrack.
I do think X is probably the dark horse on like fintech. It's dark. It's like the dark horse for still becoming like the largest social media platform. I mean, Elon's a madman, so you never know what he's thinking. But I agree. I think that I use all of us. We're all like addicted to it pretty much. We use it day in and day out. I use it more than any other social media platform. The thing is, like, I don't know if that's normal though. Like, my wife doesn't use X at all. I don't know if your guys' like significant others use X, right?
It's like 500 million monthly actives, I think. So pretty. So what is like Instagram is 3-4 billion.
I don't know.
Or sorry, Instagram's 2 billion. The total like house of apps on Meta is 3-4 billion.
You don't have an X account?
No.
It's a lie. All right. In other news, outside of Poly Market, what about Monad? They announced their airdrop.
Did you check?
Claim window. I didn't check, but I saw.
Did you get a card?
Yeah, I did.
Did you claim it?
Wait, were you wave 1 or wave 2?
I don't know.
I
don't know. I don't understand these games.
Just
I don't
take the free money and shut up.
Don't get it.
Don't worry about it.
Where do I click? Where do I click?
I didn't check yet, but did you check?
I did not check as well. So it's free guys who didn't check talking about the check.
I don't-
now.
And I heard you could sell it OTC.
That was a lie.
That was a lie.
That was a
Oh,
lie.
they were trying to steal my
Yeah, that was-
NFT.
No, what I don't understand is I didn't read all the details. I literally like looked at it for 2 seconds before I came onto this pod, but I'm pretty sure I saw that like Monad's airdropping a portion of their supply to like Moonbird holders and every other NFT holder under the sun that's a major NFT collection. And I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Like that irks me, and it's nothing against the Monad team.
It's pretty common.
Yeah, it is pretty
But
common.
I don't get it.
The thing is,
They're not your users.
if you're an L1, you have to airdrop tokens somehow, right?
Sure.
And like, I guess like I'm thinking of 2 recent examples. Like Plasma did, I would say probably the most productive way, which is like pre-deposit vault, move all that capital over there, and then you instantly have a capital base to say like, okay, look, you know what, like
Trillions.
the alternative there is like you launch the chain without a token, I guess, but that also
It's like hyperliquid airdropping to DYDX holders. users.
I don't think it makes a lot of sense.
Like it's not a good strategy. Those aren't your users. Those aren't even, they could be potential users, but let's be honest, the people that they airdropped to the Monad card holders, think of the amount of overlap between the Monad card holders and the Moonbird holders. You're telling me it's not nearly 1-to-1?
I would say it's probably not 1-to-1. I would say it's
pretty
like
close.
the Venn diagram is like, I don't know how you do like a 40% thing, but I would do like 40%.
It's
Logically makes sense.
it's a high customer acquisition cost.
Yeah.
And 6man did a study on this like a year ago that just like everyone sells their airdrop. Everyone
Not
sells
me.
their-
I always hold it. I stake it.
Like I hope. I mean, look, for my own internal or my personal benefit, I hope they don't make me do anything. I hope I can just claim and get it, and I probably will sell it. But
Don't give it to him, Monad.
I'm hoping. No, I'm truly hoping. Monad,
Give his
really-
to mine. I won't sell
I
it.
really hope
He
that-
hasn't claimed it yet. There's still time.
But no, like I hope that you force people to, when they claim, they have to auto deposit into like a lending platform or something like that to like create a strong capital base for your ecosystem, and I can generate yield off of my holdings by like people borrowing against it. But like force me to become a user. You're forcing me to become a token holder. You're not forcing me to become a user, and it's a completely different thing.
Yeah. Pre-deposit vault, I think, is the way to go for a new.
I agree. I like it.
I will say that Monad, the one thing that they did that was really cool that no one else did was they cultivated a very like intense community way before the
Strong
token.
agree.
I thought that was really cool. That's like Harvard Business Review study worthy on how you make people excited about your product before you even have one.
I
agree.
I disagree.
Really?
Well, it's just all botted, no? Like, I have nothing against Monad. I always say this on every pod I say. Monad's really cool because they have designed this entire thing from scratch, right? Like, they're not taking it from XYZ.
I think people really like Monad.
Maybe we're on different parts of like we're always on different parts of Twitter, right? Like you're on
You're in the deep dark trenches of Twitter.
I don't think there's a single human PFP on your Twitter. Like
No,
no,
there
one's
are-
face is on
there
your
are some
Twitter. It's just NFT PFP.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
You don't think it's nice?
I like to know kind of
Yeah. How good has that been for you?
That's
All right. Before we end,
Wait,
seemed personal.
what do you think? Do we know when MegaETH's
I don't know.
going live?
No idea.
I
I
don't know.
think
Q4's
probably
Q4's gonna be a
December.
movie though for my portfolio
Yeah.
between Monad and Fluffle.
Did you get a
So I'm
Fluffle?
I got a Fluffle.
Do you have a Fluffle? I was gonna say, what the fuck is a Fluffle?
Yeah.
No clue what that
No,
is.
no.
Movie.
It's like a bunny, but NFT.
It's a cute bunny.
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a cute bunny.
It's cute as long as I get a significant.
Did I have to go get it myself, or was it
You have
gifted
to pay
me?
for it. So David
Yeah.
paid.
That's
You bought it.
right? It's like I had to
Yeah, that's I think
buy in.
that makes a lot of sense. I don't think
Proof of capital.
proof of capital, as in the team gets more money. Guys, before I end things off, last question: what are you most excited about over the next 6 to 12 months? I also wait. I have a second question that I also ask. If you guys want this one, rather, if you could long one chain, apart from Solana,
Apart from Hyperliquid.
what would it be?
That's easy. It's base.
That's fair.
It has to be base. Like they have the best distribution in the industry. I mean, you can even argue BSC too, but I think okay. Or maybe they have the best brand. They have a strong brand between TradFi and crypto natives. I think it has to be base. But what am I excited about over the next, what you said, 6 to 12 months?
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see TradFi continue to tap into DeFi protocols. So I think the Coinbase Morpho integration is just like the tip of the iceberg. Obviously, Coinbase is also like routing their front end user flow to decentralized exchanges in the back end. We're finally starting to see the DeFi mullet actually come to life. You know, the DeFi mullet that we talked about in like the last cycle or two. I'm waiting for like a JP Morgan or like a Goldman Sachs. And I don't know how far we are from that world. Is it 6 to 12 months out? Probably not. You're really going to have these like fintechs that are already like tech forward. I think start to tap into DeFi liquidity, but I don't know. Like I think I'm really excited about that coming to fruition. And I'd like to one day be able to take a mortgage out on chain, and like have like one of these front ends like underwrite my credit risk, but we'll see.
That makes sense. I was going to say nothing. Let's continue. Just such a high risk with the mortgage thing, no?
It's really not.
I don't know.
You're already starting to see under collateralized lending with like 3Jane. Wildcat does some under collateralized lending.
Yeah.
Like that's all. It's literally that.
That's
right?
fair.
So it's already being done.
Ryan.
Well, I think that the thing I think that prediction markets are going to very obviously be a big deal given the distribution and the land grab that's going on right there, and the cultural moment that they're having. But it's hard to get exposure to that. So I would just say generally, like, from the commentary that we get from both asset managers and that you see on the timeline, there's incredible amounts of bearishness around valuations and risk assets. And I would just say, like, I'm totally on the opposite side of that. I think if you just want to just like make easy money for the next 6 months, you just be long risk assets. Like the warnings of you know, a market that's overvalued are objectively false. It's like very selective metrics that you could do to paint equity markets as expensive, and rates are going to come in, and that's going to, you know, markets are near all-time high. That's going to cause a flurry of economic activity. There's already a big wealth effect, and risk asset AI is, you know, ushering in a manufacturing renaissance in the United States, and risk assets are going to do fantastic.
Can I say something? I've
It's
never heard.
crazy how I left the energy industry to go into crypto right before like data center build outs were a thing. I literally sold the bottom of my mechanical engineering degree.
That's all right.
No, it's not.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Sold the bottom.
It'll be fine. I will say one thing. I've never.
It's the most valuable profession right now.
What, mechanical engineer?
Yeah, like I could have literally been building
Could have
out
been a data center. And
Same thing happened to me, but
and now I'm over here talking to Boccaccio about
Fluffles.
fluffles.
To be fair, I've never heard Ryan Connor. I was gonna say two things.
He's never been bearish.
I've never heard him be bearish.
Perpetual. It's crazy. Like you're perpetually. I mean,
Perpetually-
I like it. You bowl me up.
But to be fair, he also joined at the bottom of the. Like I've known him since the bottom of the Pico Bear.
he's been
of
right
the
every
last
time.
year.
Every single time the market's had like a 10 to 20% decline, he's like buy.
Just buy.
And I'm like, no, like this might be it. And he's like, just buy.
The thing that's different is AI.
Yeah,
It's like it makes all the bear posts irrelevant. All the bearish data points are relevant. They're not relevant. All that matters is that, SaaS is a $300 billion market, and SaaS is coming for labor, and labor is a $15 trillion market, and that's all that matters. And crypto's great too.
Buy Bitcoin. Not financial advice. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming on. This was very, very good.
Thanks, Pikachu, for having us.
Thank you.